Good evening and welcome to the November 2nd, 2016 legislative session of the Town Board. And I'll officially call this board meeting to order. I'll ask that everyone please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Cole. Here. LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler will be here shortly. Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here. Thank you. We'll start the meeting off with our communications and announcements, and I'll recognize our town clerk, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just a reminder that the general election day will be held next Tuesday, November 8th. Voting hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and if you're unsure of which polling site you will be voting at, visit penfield.org or call the Board of Elections at 585-753-1550. And please remember, all mobile DMV and main DMV offices will be closed on that day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. It's that time of year. Change your clock and change your batteries. This weekend, November 6th at 2 a.m., the clocks fall back 1 hour. This simple message of when you set your clocks back, change batteries in your smoke alarm can save lives. Early warning is the first line of defense in escaping a fire. Smoke detectors should be on every floor of your home, including the basement and in each sleeping area. The bottom line is smoke detectors can save the lives of families and pets. Once again, as you change the clocks back this weekend, please be mindful of changing your batteries and your smoke detectors. For more information, visit penfield.org for more safety links. Second, winter snow plowing rules will be going into effect beginning Tuesday, November 15th. No parking will be allowed on all roadways in Penfield during the overnight hours of 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. This rule allows our highway crews to safely and effectively clear snow and maintain our roads during the winter months. Snow plowing rules will remain in effect until April 1st. Again, winter snow plowing rules will begin on Tuesday, November 15th. If you have any questions, you can contact our Department of Public Works at 585-340-8710 or email highway@penfield.org. Also, a couple of seasonal reminders from our Department of Public Works. First, over the next several weeks, highway crews will be traveling along designated snowplow routes, marking up the roads with orange and yellow fluorescent fiberglass stakes. These stakes are used as guides for snowplow operators to help reduce damage to lawns, roads, and highway equipment during the winter months. The stakes will be removed by the town in early spring of next year. Second, as the leaves continue to fall, please keep an eye on your yard inlets and neighborhood catch basins to make sure leaves or other debris are not blocking water flow into the basins. If you are preparing your leaves for a contractor to pick up, please make sure you keep raked or blown piles within your yard. Keeping the catch basins clear helps minimize flooding of your property and that of your neighbors. We thank our residents for their assistance this fall and winter, and for more information, seasonal tips, and upcoming town services by our Department of Public Works, please visit penfield.org. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just one announcement. Next Friday, the 11th of November, all town offices, including the library, will be closed in observance of Veterans Day. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. On Saturday, November 12th, the Penfield Trails Committee will be hosting a free guided hike within Sherwood Fields Park, which is located at 2514 Penfield Road. The hike will begin at 10 a.m., and it's a chance to check out the town's newest all-season park, which runs within the Commission Ditch. Participants should meet at the parking lot adjacent to the Penfield Fire Hall Station Number 3. Please register before November 12th by calling 340-8655, and for more information on the Trails Committee, please visit penfieldrec.org. Thank you.
Mrs. Cole.
I have two announcements. The 2016 Penfield Rotary Fall Euchre Tournament will be held Sunday, November 13th at the Legacy at Willow Pond. Penfield Rotary hosts this tournament each fall and spring to help support various community and international projects. Check-in time is 2 p.m. at 40 Willow Pond Way. Participation will be limited to 100 players and prizes will be awarded. For complete details, visit penfieldrotary.org Again, that's Sunday, November 13th, at the Legacy at Willow Pond for the Fall Rotary Euchre Tournament. And my other announcement is that my next community chat will be Tuesday, November 15th, 5:30 to 7 in the new book area at the Penfield Library.
Okay. Mr. Horowitz?
I have no further announcements
All
tonight.
right, not to put you on the spot or anything, but Cleveland or Chicago?
It is going to be a rough call.
Spoken like a true politician. All right, moving right along. This brings us to public participation, 2 opportunities to address the board on any matter. You can do that one of 3 ways. If you're here in the audience, you can address the board on any matter. You can call in at 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org. I have a printer right here next to me, and your question or email can be pushed right up to the dais. With that, I would ask anyone in the audience like to address the board on any matter. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to additions and deletions. Does any of the board members, town clerk, or town attorney have any additions or deletions to the agenda this evening? Okay, seeing none, we have the September 21st, 2016 minutes before us. I would entertain a motion of approval for those minutes.
I move that the minutes of September 21st be approved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion regarding those minutes? Seeing no discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Petitions. Has the board members, town clerk, or town attorney received any petitions since our last meeting? Okay, seeing none, we will start our resolutions by function. We'll start with law and finance, please.
Authorize the supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement with Monroe County for the purchase of fuel.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the Monroe County Sheriff's Office would like to continue obtaining fuel from the town's Department of Public Works facility. Whereas the town will be reimbursed monthly for the fuel along with an administrative fee per municipal agreement. Be it resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to sign an intermunicipal agreement with Monroe County for the term of September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2017, with an option to renew for an additional term up to 3 one-year periods. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution? A standard resolution that comes up every 3 years or so for being able to have a contract with the Sheriff's Department for fueling from DPW. Seeing no discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
LaFountain, sorry.
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
4 ayes.
Okay. Move on to our next resolution, please.
2016 budget transfers, reconciliations.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas transfer of funds are necessary for reconciliation at year end. Whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current income and expenditures. Be it resolved that the attached budget transfers be approved. Budget transfers, budget adjustments from 4 different accounts: finance, contingency, rec and administration, and playground, in the amount of $18,395.32, to multiple accounts for contractual services, recreations, playgrounds, 4th of July festivities, and zoning legal notices, and veterans, in the amount of $18,395.32. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for the release of a portion of a sanitary sewer easement at 29 and 31 Coral Drive.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the owners of property at 31 Coral Drive and the owners of the property at 29 Coral Drive have requested that the town release a portion of the 20-foot wide sanitary sewer easement on their properties. Whereas the original sanitary sewer easement was recorded in the Monroe County Clerk's Office on September 29, 1987. Whereas a portion of the existing 20-foot easement is no longer useful to the town of Penfield. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield hereby authorize the supervisor to sign a release of easement with the owners of the properties at 29 and 31 Coral Drive. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? As the board recalls, reviewed this at work session. Both of these easements were put in place for extensions because the sewers were brought in from other locations. There's no longer a need for that, and we can abandon and not encumber those properties. Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign recreation contracts.
So moved.
Second.
This resolution authorizes the town supervisor to sign one recreation contract. It's with Bushido Kai Judo Club for instruction from September through December.
Great, thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none, a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Okay. This brings us to old business. Any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, is there any new business to come before the board this evening? Again, seeing none. A second opportunity to address the board on any matter here in the audience. If you call in at 340-8771 or log on at penfield.org. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to address the board on any matter? So we ask that, because we do tape record these, you have an opportunity to be on TV and you can be heard as well. And so be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And if you would, your name for the record.
My name is Mark Vanderwerken,
Mark, could you spell your last name?
Vanderwerken.
K-E-N?
Yeah.
And your address?
300 Manoia Ave.
300.
Manoia Avenue.
Okay.
Mark, go right ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Just, you guys were speeding through the last stuff. I was just about to ask him some questions
Absolutely.
on the stuff you just guys approved.
Yeah.
And the sewers, what was the issue?
So on the sewer, the release of the sewer easement, when the subdivision was developed, there were 2 locations within the subdivision that had an easement across 2 pieces of property that could be used for extensions into some adjacent property. And what happened is that adjacent property was provided sewers from another location, so we were able to abandon those easements, and that way not encumbering those properties. Those easements had been in place for a number of years, and because they weren't needed, we in fact could abandon those. So that'll be removed as an encumbrance from those 2 pieces of property.
And the fuel, is it the fuel for for the vehicles you use?
So the contract that we have is that the Sheriff's Department has a number of contracts with different municipalities around the county, depending upon where they're located. We have Zone A, Monroe County Sheriff's Department, that kind of falls in that area where Penfield, Pittsford, and Brighton kind of come together on Linden Avenue. And they have, within the town, they have 2 locations. They have a contract with the school district. They also have a contract with the town of Penfield, so that any of the cruisers have the opportunity to fuel up either here at our DPW on Jackson Road or at the school location, Transportation Department on 5 Mile Line Road. And
Okay.
so it's an annual contract. And then what happens is that by having those multiple areas across the county, wherever a cruiser is and needs to be fueled, they can pop into one of those locations that we have a contract established with.
Now, the town of Penfield pays for the fuel?
The county of Monroe actually pays. So the Sheriff's Department, as part of their budget for fuel, plans on so much fuel usage. We charge them on a monthly basis, and essentially, we charge them what it cost us for the fuel. And
Okay.
obviously, that fluctuates as we all see it at the pumps, higher or lower, depending upon type of, time of year and things like that. But we charge them what we pay for and what they use.
And they're referring to the law on finances? What were you,
Transfer funds.
For the transfer of funds?
yeah,
So what happens is that we always have to make sure that we have an updated budget. So the town cannot spend anything more than what was approved. From time to time, what will happen is that in certain accounts, we may spend more dollars. But what we have to do is we have to offset that by transferring dollars from accounts that have not, that still might have some money left in, in those accounts. And we transfer that over so that at the end of the year, everything balances out because we're not in the business, to spend more than what was approved by this board. So we have to make sure that all accounts are accounted for by year end. So if we identified $500 for a program in recreation and it ran over to $600, we would have to identify $100 to be brought in from another account.
okay.
So that again, at the end of the year, we have a balanced budget.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. Good luck with the class. Last 2 weeks is always the crunch time, so good luck with the class. All right. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to give myself, our town clerk, a shout, and we can provide you with copies of the resolutions. We can provide you with copies of the rules of procedure as well.
Now, what's being televised, can you rewatch it over?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what will happen is typically it's a 24 to 48 hour period of time, and it'll be up on our website. So if you log on at penfield.org and you click on Town Board, you will see under that all of the meetings that, and I'm not going to have this exactly right, but you can go back multiple years. So not only will you see this meeting, but you can go back previous meetings and watch any of those meetings, and any and all action that the town board took on any matter that was before it. All right. Very good. Seeing no further public participation and no further business to come before the town board this evening, the November 2nd, 2016 legislative session of the board stands adjourned at 7:20 p.m. Thank you to those that participated. Thank you to Penfield TV.